Hello everyone, I am Aki Pathan, currently pursuing MTech in Information Technology from International Institute of Professional Studies DAVB Indore. This video has been created as a part of my Advanced Java assignment, which is a part of our MTech curriculum under the guidance of Dr. Nitin Nagar sir. In this video, we are going to learn some important concepts of Java socket programming, particularly TCP/IP server sockets and datagrams. So without wasting much time, let's get started. The topics which we are going to discuss, that is the TCP/IP server sockets and datagrams, are subtopics of Java socket programming, which is used to implement a concept called networking. And this is what we are going to learn in this video. Starting with the basic introduction to socket programming, we will talk about connection oriented socket programming, which is implemented by socket and server socket, and then we will discuss connectionless socket programming, which is implemented by datagrams, and in the end we are going to look at a brief comparison between sockets and datagrams. Introduction to socket programming. There is a concept in Java called networking. It is a concept of connecting two or more computing devices together so that we can share resources through them. Java socket programming provides this facility, that is to share data between different computing devices. It is used for communication between the applications running on different JRE or different machines. It can be connection oriented, that is a reliable connection is established between the client and socket, and it can also be connectionless, that is there is no connection, the data is shared with the help of data packets. Socket and server socket classes are used for connection oriented socket programming, and datagram socket and datagram packet classes are used for connectionless socket programming, and these classes are included in java.net package. Now let's see how socket programming actually works. There are two sockets, one at the client side and one at the server side. And to share resources or data, there are data streams. In two-way communication, there may be two streams. One acts as the output stream for the client and input stream for the server. And the another stream acts as the input stream for the client and output stream for the server. And through these streams, data is shared between the client and socket via a reliable connection, which is established by server socket and socket. Connection oriented socket programming. In this programming, a reliable connection is established between the client and socket. The classes which are used to implement connection oriented socket programming are socket and server socket. The socket class is used to communicate client and server. Through this class, we can read and write messages. And the server socket class is used at server side only. The accept method of server socket class blocks the console until the client is connected. That is, it returns the socket if the connection is established successfully. After the successful connection of client, it returns the instance of socket at server side. Socket. A socket is simply an endpoint for communications between the machines. It is used for communication mechanism between two computers using TCP. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol, which is a set of rules for communication. It is an object that encapsulates a TCP/IP connection, a connection based on TCP protocol. There is a socket on both the slides of communication, one at the client side and one at the server side. The socket class in Java can be used to create a socket. Now some important methods of socket class are get input stream method. It returns the input stream attached with this socket, and this stream can be used to receive the data or message coming from the another socket. The second method is get output stream method. It returns the output stream attached with this socket, and this stream can be used to write messages or send data to the another socket. And the final method, that is the close method, is used to close this socket. Server socket. The server socket class in Java can be used to create a server socket which resides at the server side only. This object is used to establish communication with the clients. The two important methods of server socket class are accept and close. Accept returns the socket and establish a connection between the server and client. The close method closes the server socket after our work is done. Now let us implement sockets and server sockets in code with the help of Java program. We have created a small program to implement an application in which a server first sends a message to the client and the client responds back to the server, and those messages are printed. So for this, I have created a class called TCP server, and there is a main method inside it. And first I have created a server socket with a specified port number. A port number is a unique number which is used to identify a node or device on a network. Then I have created a socket object with this accept method of the server socket class returns the socket after the connection is established successfully. Now to receive the message from the client, I have created an object of the data input stream and called the get input stream method, and I will store that message coming from the server in this variable str1, and for out, and then I'll print that message through this line. And for sending message to the client, after the message from the server is retrieved, this client replies back to the server. So I have created an object of data output stream and called the get output stream method. And to write the message, I have used the method write UTF, and it writes the message hello client from server. And then flush method is called to send this message, and then all the objects I have closed after our work is done. So this is the server side. Now at the client side, I have created a class called TCP client. There is a main method, and inside it I have created a socket called client socket. And this socket requires two parameters. One is the address of the server, which is localhost here because we are running this application on this machine itself, and passed the port number. And I have created data output stream object and called the get output stream method to send the message to the server. And write UTF message writes the message to the server, which is this hello server from client. And this flush method sends this message. And to receive the message from the server, I have created a data input stream object and called get input stream, and I have stored this in str2 variable and then printed it. And then I have closed all the objects after our work is done. Now to see the output of this program, let's run this program. We are running the server side first. Let's run this. Run as Java application. So this is our server output. It is not doing anything right now because I have not run the client side right now. It has sent the message to the client, and it will receive the message from the client when we run the client side. So now let's run the client side. So this is our client side. See this output. Message from server, hello client from server. This message we have sent from the server side, and client side has received this message and displayed it. Now if I see the server side, it will also receive a message from client, which is this is our server side. Server side has also received the reply from the client. Message from client, hello server from client. So this is how sockets work. It can be used to create a chat application or application similar to this. Alright, let's move on to the connectionless socket programming. In connectionless socket programming, there is no reliable connection between the client and the socket. Like in connection-oriented programming, there was a reliable connection established between the client and socket. Let's see this in detail. Connectionless socket programming in Java is implemented with the help of datagram. Now, what is a datagram? A datagram is an independent, self-contained message sent over the network whose arrival time and content are not guaranteed. Datagrams play a vital role as an alternative. Datagrams are bundles of information passed between machines. Once the datagram has been released to its intended target, there is no assurance that it will arrive or even that someone will be there to catch it. And the reason is there is no reliable connection and acknowledgement is not sent by the receiver in connectionless oriented program. So when the datagram is received, there is no assurance that it hasn't been damaged or in transit, or that whoever sent it is still there to receive a response, and it is crucial point to note. Let's see how datagrams are implemented in Java. So Java provides these classes to implement datagrams: the datagram packet class and the datagram socket class. And in this diagram, you can see that these two classes are part of Java.NET package. Actually, all the classes related to Java socket programming are part of Java.NET package. You can see socket and server socket and inet address class which we have used earlier. So let's see this in detail. Java Datagram Socket class. The Java Datagram Socket class represents a connectionless socket for sending and receiving datagram packets. A datagram is basically an information, but there is no guarantee of its content, arrival, or arrival time. So the datagram socket is similar to the socket which we have seen earlier. It basically provides a mechanism for communication between the client and socket. Basically used constructors of Java datagram socket are datagram socket. It creates a datagram socket and binds it with the available port number on the localhost machine. The second constructor is datagram socket, in which we provide an argument which is the port number. It creates a datagram socket and binds it with the given port number that we have passed here. The third constructor is datagram socket, in which we provide two arguments. First is the port number and second is the inet address, which is the address of the localhost. It creates a datagram socket and binds it with the specified port number and the host address. Java Datagram Packet class. The Java Datagram packet is a message that can be sent or received. If you send multiple packets, it may arrive in any order. Additionally, the packet delivery is not guaranteed. So the datagram packet is basically a message which we send with the help of datagram socket, which is a mechanism for the communication between client and socket. The basically used constructors of datagram packet class are: first, the datagram packet, in which we provide two arguments. First is the first is the byte array, and second is the length of the data which we are going to send. Now the important point to note here is that through datagram packet we send data, but the data is sent in the form of a byte array, and the length here is the length of the data which we are going to send. The second constructor is datagram packet, which takes four arguments. First is the data which we are going to send in the form of a byte array. Second is the length of that data. Third is the address of the localhost, and fourth is the port number. So it creates a datagram packet. This constructor is used to send the packets. So the second constructor is used to send the data, and the first constructor is used to receive the data. Now we are going to implement this with the help of a Java program, and we are going to see how actually these are implemented in code. So this is our program to demonstrate the datagram packet and datagram sockets. So let me give you a basic overview of this application. In this application, the client is sending a number to the server, and the server calculates the square of this number and returns it back to the client, and in the end the client displays the result. So let's see what actually is happening here. I have So this is the client side. I have created a class called UDP client. There is a main method and this is our code. We are going to take the number from the user. The user will enter the number and then we will send that number to the server. So we are taking the number from the user and storing it in the number value. Here I have created a datagram socket object. You can see here. We do not need to provide port number on the client side. We have to do it on the server side. So we have created a datagram socket, and to send the data, as I have told you earlier, we in datagram packets we send the data in the form of a byte array. So this number we have to convert this number into a byte array. So in this line I am converting this number into a string, and then dot get bytes method is called, which is the method of the string object, and it returns the byte array which we are storing it in the v1. And then I have created an object of the inet address, and through this line of code we are getting the address of the localhost by calling this method get localhost. Now the datagram packet, we need datagram packet to send our data. So we are creating a datagram packet object here in which we are providing 4 arguments. First is the data which is to be sent, which is the byte array. Second is the length of our data. And the third is the inet address, which is the address of the localhost. And fourth is the port number, which is 111 here. Now to send the data, we have to call the send method of the datagram socket. So I am calling the send method on this object datagram socket object and passing the datagram packet 1, which is this, which contains our number. So it has sent the number to the server. Now to receive the result from the server, we are creating another byte array, which is b2, and the another datagram packet, new datagram packet, which is this datagram packet 2. We are providing 2 arguments. First is the byte array and second is the length of that byte array. We have seen earlier that we need this datagram packet object with 2 arguments to receive the datagram packet, and to send the datagram packet we need this object with the 4 arguments. So to receive the datagram packet from the server, I am calling the receive method of the datagram socket here and passing the datagram packet to object here. The result which is coming from the server is stored in this string here, and in the final line of code I am displaying that result which is coming from the server, which will be the square of the number which we are sending, which is this. Okay, so this is the client side of our program. Now let's see what actually is happening at the server side. So this program is to demonstrate the server side. I have created a class called UDP server. There is a main method and all our code is inside this. I have created a datagram socket object in this method and passed the port number here, which is 1111. It should be the same on both the client side and the server side. Now I have created a byte array of the size 1024, and I have created another datagram packet 1, in which I have passed 2 arguments, which is the this array and its length. Now to receive the number which is coming from the client side, I have called this method receive method of the datagram socket object and received the data in this datagram packet. Now I am converting this data into a string by calling these methods datagram packet 1.get data. So this is converted into a string called data from client. Now this is a string and I have to perform an operation here because we have to calculate the square of that number to send to the client again. So we are converting this string into a number by calling the parseInt method of the integer class, and I am calling the stream method to remove the extra spaces if any in this string. So it has been converted into the number, and now in this line we are calculating the square of that number and storing it in the variable called result. Now to send, we have to send that result again to the client. So we are converting it into a byte array by this line of code. I am converting this result into a string, and by get bytes method we are getting the byte array. Now I have created another object of inet address, and by calling the get localhost method I have received the address of the localhost. Now to send this result, we have to create another datagram packet object which contains 4 arguments. The first argument is the b2, which is this byte array. Second is this the length of the data. Fourth is the address of the localhost, and the third is the address of the localhost, and fourth is the port number. And finally, we are sending this datagram packet to which contains the square of that number to the client side by calling the send method of the datagram socket class. So we have sent the data to the client. Now let's run this program to see the output, what actually is happening. So to run the program, we have to start the server first. So I am running the server side first here. So here you can see the output of the server side. Nothing is happening here because we are not printing anything here. We are just calculating the result and sending it back to the client. So let's run the client side now. This is the client, the output of the client side. It is asking us to enter a number. Let's enter a number. Let's say 10. So it is sending this number which is 10 here to the server, and server is calculating the result which is the square of this number and returning it back to the client, and the client is displaying the result from the server 100, which is the square of the 10. So this is how datagram packet and datagram socket works in Java. I hope the concepts are clear now. Alright friends, so the final thing which we are going to discuss in this video is a brief comparison between sockets and datagrams. We have already seen that the TCP/IP sockets are used in connection-oriented socket programming, whereas the datagrams are used in connectionless socket programming. Let's understand the basic difference between these two. While talking about TCP/IP sockets, clients and servers that communicate via a reliable channel such as a TCP socket have a dedicated point-to-point channel between themselves. To communicate, they establish a connection, transmit the data, and then close the connection. All data sent over the channel is received in the same order in which it was sent. This is guaranteed by the channel. Whereas in datagrams, applications that communicate via datagrams send and receive completely independent packets of information. These clients and servers do not have and do not need a dedicated point-to-point channel. The delivery of datagrams to their destinations is not guaranteed. So we can say that TCP/IP sockets are more reliable as compared to datagrams. This is the main difference between these two. Alright guys, so that's all from my side. I hope you get to learn something important from this video. Thank you so much for watching this. Take care and keep learning.